I'm going to explain how to use Writing Wizard app, what it's really good for, and the features, and what I really like about this app. So I've been using this app for quite a few years now with students in my class, and it's really popular with the students. And I really like it because you can adjust a lot of the settings to suit your own user and how you want to use it. So primarily, Writing Wizard is really useful to promote handwriting skills, fine motor, looking at letter formation. Also, it's really good for focusing on spelling of words and also word recognition, because a student or child can hear the word aloud and see it there, as well as having a go at writing it. Now, when I've used it with students, I really recommend them using a stylus, because you don't write with your finger. So although it can be used in that way, it's much better for the student to have a stylus to actually write on the tablet, because it gives them that feeling of writing with a pen, but a lot more fun. And one of the styluses I've really found useful is a Cosmonaut Stylus, which is a nice chunky thick stylus that you can't pick the tip off, because some of the other styluses you can get, you can just peel the rubber off the top, which they don't last very long, and also it might damage your screen of your iPad. Okay, so while I'm recording this, I'm using my mouse on my iPad just so you can see what I'm clicking on. So I'm going to go through some of the main features and how you can adjust Writing Wizard. So let's just go through some of the pre-saved activities. So you can see from the main home screen, we've got some early pre-writing activities. Then we've got capital letters, lowercase letters, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and then my words. And then we've got a lot of other settings around the side as well, which we'll look at. So let's just have a look at some of the pre-saved activities. So you can see here we've got some early writing skills. We're just writing vertical, horizontal lines and some zigzag patterns, some stars, some curvy patterns, wave patterns, and I think it goes on to the other page. Whoops, not that one. There we go. We've got some spirals, and then we've also got some pictures, which are quite fun to do. So I'll just go back. So if I just click on one of these, I'll click on the zigzag pattern. So you can see that it gives you a visual prompt. And you can, in the settings, you can adjust the speed that this goes for. So I'll just wait till they're finished. And it gives you a starting green arrow and the red stop. So I'm just going to use my finger now. So I'm going to go up to the top and then down and then up. Now that little dill sound, that's because I'm not getting it right on the point. You can switch that off if that's preferable. So you can actually switch that noise off. You can go up and down. And I go right to the end. And then I get a reward activity. The reward activity is to play. So I can move it around. And it's just really fun colours. And then it'll go on to the next activity, which is some different zigzag patterns. So I'm just going to go back to the beginning again. Let's go back to the home button. And then you've got the uppercase letters, and then lowercase, and then numbers, and finally my words. So they have words already installed. So if you go into the word list, this was the 3-letter words. But what's really useful about this app is that you can actually create your own word lists. And I've used this with spellings or focus words. So I've actually created this word list here, which says days of the week. And I've written in the days of the week, which we could practice. So if I click on this one, Monday. That was my voice saved to read the word. So it's now going to just put the word in for me. So I'm just going to go back, and it's really easy to add your own word list. So you just go into new list, and I might want to put months. So I'm going to save that, and then I might write my first month, January, and then I can record my voice, January, and I will save that. So you can see I've got my first word in my list, and you have to go back each time, and then you need to add a word each time, and that will save my new word list, which is months. So I'm going to click on done there. Now when you do, I'll go back, because when you're in this, you can actually export it. So if you click on export, you can export the list to, or send a list to a nearby device. So if you have another iPad nearby who also has Word Wizard, instead of having to type the list out all over again, you can actually you can just send the word list. All right. Let's go back to the home page again. So one of the other things that's really useful is to change the user. So I'm going to go in here, change user. I'm going to, well, I've got my name down there, but I'm going to add another user. I'm going to put Bill and save. So now I've created a new user. If I actually go on my own name, I can look at tracings history, and I can actually export the tracing. So what I might do is go back into the other user, because I think that's where I was doing the writing. So I'll go to this one. So tracings history, there I can see where I've done some previous work. So if I clicked on today, which was the waves, I can see that's how I've written, and then I can replay it, so I can actually see that I was doing it all in one go, which is really good. So you can actually see if a student's struggling with a particular letter, if they're taking their pen off the page several times. So you could use that to focus. You can vary the speed on that. So also to show you the time that you would have created it. The other thing you can do with your records is export it. So there you can see some of the activities that I've been doing today. I was having a play with the different activities, and you can export that as a PDF. So we can click on that. And then you can email it, and it will email as a PDF. And then again, you've got another record of how they're writing. So you can see I was doing a word earlier, Monday. Going back to the home page, if we look at settings, actually I'll go into worksheets, because worksheets is also really useful. So if I click on days of the week, there we are. That's my days of the week that I created my word list, and I can export that. I can click on that and export it as a PDF, so students could actually write that on a piece of paper. They can practice on pen and paper, and you can vary the size, because you can vary the size of, it's a bit too big because it won't fit on. So you can vary that, and you can change whether you want to have the green and red, or whether you want to have it full. So there's quite a few different settings, and landscape and portrait I think you can change it to as well. Let's look at the settings. So here is where you can change an awful lot of things. You can change the font. So you can change the type of font you wanted. I changed the Scandinavia because I preferred the way the K was written. I can see they don't have a Queensland font, which is interesting. You can have left-handed mode. You can limit the game time. If you remember when I was doing the word and I got to play afterwards, that sort of sensory reward, you can actually change that and increase or decrease the amount of time between words that you might get to have that reward time. You can, what are the other things? You can change whether you have a green arrow start. You can change the background colour, which is really good. So you can change it to black. So I will go back and try one for you. There we go. This looks cool.
H.
And then you've got it on the black, which might be really good for students who've got difficulties viewing things on a white background. So that looks pretty cool when you're putting it on a black background like that. So I'll go back in my settings. I'm going to change the background to default. You can also change the hand colour. You can switch the sound off when it's being traced, when the model's being traced or when the child is tracing it, and the fail sound. So if you feel as though the child is liking the failing sound, you can switch that off too. Background music, I must have switched mine off because it was irritating, but you can switch that on and off. And then you can look at the reward side for their writing. Yeah, so that's pretty, but you can explore a bit more with the settings. So just check if there's anything else I was writing. Oh yeah, just about the game time limit. Yeah, so that's pretty much Writing Wizard. So I really like it because you can set up your own word lists. You can record your own voice reading a word, or a child can record their own voice. I've got a lot of my students doing it themselves. They type the word in and then record themselves reading the word, which was really good. But yeah, it's a really fun, engaging app that's great for children when they're just starting with their handwriting practice, and certainly much more engaging than just using a pen and paper or laminating a sheet and using a whiteboard marker. So I think I've covered everything in Writing Wizard, but I certainly give this 5 stars out of 5, and I'm not sure that there's any way they could really improve it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video.